Welcome back everybody into another video, and today we're going to do quite a different one, and we're going to talk about trading plans. As you can see here, we are looking at my old trading plan that I made in August of 2021, and was, as you can see, basically based on gold, and that's only basically the only pair that I traded, apart from a few times euro dollar. So the importance of a trading plan cannot be underestimated, and it's really important to treat your trading as a business. So that's why a trading plan has to resemble as much as possible a business plan. So what we're going to see is my old trading plan, my new trading plan, and I will also give you some sort of a template where you could have the main questions that are obviously based on capital and education. That's where I learned them, and we will go through it question by question. It's very important that you actually do it right and that you take your time to write it down as it is, and based on, of course, your trading edge, your trading psychology, and your routine, because it's nobody else's one. Has to be yours. So for example, this one was from August 2021. First question is why? Why are you trading? Why are you in this world, in this industry? There are so many jobs out there. Why are you trading? That's the most important, and that's why it's the first one, most important question you should ask. Okay, why? So of course, I want to be financially free and I want to build wealth. I will trade part-time, and in 10 years, my objective is to become a millionaire. I would love to have both trading and other businesses, due to especially to personal fulfillment, and yeah, until trading becomes my full-time job, yada yada yada. Second question: how risk averse are you? You know that everybody can be less or more risk averse, and it's quite dependent on your psychology or how you grew up, how your parents were, where did you grow up, and everything, the education and the environment. As you can see, I was basing myself 8, which means very risk averse, and because I have experience in poker and also a little bit of trading at the time, and I was a little bit scared. My main issue for the longest time, and you know it, was about entering a trade. The trigger, I was not able to pull it, and I always found myself just staying on the sideline, not able, and see the price go in my direction and being really scared. Now, with a little bit of more meditation, study, and work on myself, then I'm becoming less and less risk averse. And but at this time it was 8. So that's the second question. Third one: how would you define your personality? Are you an aggressive addictive or more sheltered and mindful? I was already very good at emotional control. I've never been that aggressive addictive. I'm not the one that really goes ham, goes rogue, and is in the traffic and starts swearing at people, that starts the fights. No, I'm more on my own, more mindful. And it's really important to know it, because it matches it very well with your trading style. That's and I'm going to tell you why. In this case, I've always been a scalper, and I've always been, as I said, sheltered and mindful. So even though that's also part of risk averse. If I was risk averse 1, I would probably be more aggressive, addictive, more of sort of careless. Not only fearless, I would only be careless. And yeah, also is matching as I was saying, these two are very much connected, and I'm going to talk, we're going to see why. My trading plan, what is your trading style? It can be, usually there are main 3 ones: scalping, let's see, usual scalping, day trader, intraday, and then swing. And these are ordered based on the time frame of the usually how much you hold your trades, and also from this depends everything. So scalping is more about minutes to hour in the market based on the trade. This one is let's say 15 minutes to few hours market, and I'm talking about the trade, remember, and then swing is days or weeks. Then of course there will be the positional trader, that it means weeks, months, even years, but that's another thing. So this will be the main typologies of trading style, and here I'm talking about the scalping because I'm always love scalping, because it's a trader that takes advantage of lower time frame price action, so trading on 5 minutes, 1 minute, even less, and being out in a very in a range in a matter of few minutes. I had a few trades that were like even taken out or to TP in less than 2 minutes, and I have had a few trades that went up until 60 minutes, usually much less. Usually if a trade goes to 60 minutes, there was something wrong. There was not enough volume, not enough momentum in the chart when I entered. So usually it's like 2 minutes to 30 minutes maximum. I will risk a percentage of this capital in order to gain small but consistent profits. High probability setups with little RR compared to other styles, not by itself. I am still going to for 1 to 3 risk to reward, and not going to 1 to 0.5, which will require to have like an 80-90% of win rate. But let's go into the this one. Scalping is complementing my emotional control. Why is it relevant? That's because, let's put it like this: if you are aggressive personality, and of course we are generalizing quite a lot, it's more likely that you will overtrade, over risk. That's more likely. Okay. If instead you are more calm and mindful personality, you are more as a negative trait, you are more most likely you will like this entry or take too few trades. Okay, that's mainly the correlation. So also we can now connect it with the calm and aggressive, swing, intraday or swing, So let's explain this. So what we are seeing right here is that if you are aggressive, so you tend, if you were scalping, you will tend to overtrade and over risk, because scalping gives you many opportunities every minute, every hour. For you, it's better to go into an intraday or swing, because today you naturally will be offered less opportunities. So if you tend to be aggressive, then it's better to have some sort of calmer and slower trading style, compared to if you are already a calm and mindful person, then scalping can be good because it offers you many opportunities, and it offers you the possibility, I mean, your personality offers you the chance that you will not overtrade, you will not over risk, even if the price is giving you, the market is offering you multiple opportunities, because that's of your inclination. You will not tend to overtrade that much. But this is just to see the relation between the two. And yeah, then we go into the nitty-gritty. What are the 1 or 2 pairs you are trading? It's always better to stick to 1 or 2 pairs, not having 3, 4, 5, 6 pairs in your chart, in your watch list. I was selling gold. What is the risk to reward ratio? So you know the difference. You can be 1 to 2, 1 to 3, can be 1 to 1, and also some rules. When do you trade? So if you work in a full-time job or part-time job, regular job, they will tell you, okay, you need to work from 9 to 5, you need to work from 11 to 9 p.m, you need to work night shift. You need to be clear when are you going to trade. So think about your other activities, what you are doing during the day. You have to go to the gym, do I have to stay with my kids, whatever, and think, okay, I can trade this time, from this time to this time. Okay, this time to this time that I have free, does it fit any relevant session that has a lot of volume and momentum, which can be good for a scalping style, or not? Maybe you're only available when the markets are only on Asian session. Then it's maybe better to have a intraday approach that either you adapt your expectations, to like very small scalps, or maybe you think, okay, I study Asian session and I see that during Asian most of the intraday moves start, so I can only trade Asian. Okay, so what do? You study and you see that I scalp for small moves, or the other option, I see that during Asian start many intraday moves. So of course, one will be a scalping decision. Okay, so I only have that time. I only want to stick to that time, seeing and looking at the charts. I will not trade more, and I will just stick to these small moves. Or maybe, okay, I will trade here and I will place a trade, pending orders, whatever, and then I will only check the market during the day, simply to see if the trade is going well, has been triggered, or whatever. But I'm not going to actively trading during the day because I'm working, for example. So now, if we continue. For me, this was my schedule. It was it was quite fixed. I was doing my analysis, I was going to the gym, I was doing everything. I was doing recaps, daily recaps, and okay, let me just a second. Okay, I don't know why Epic Pen stops. And then on the weekend I was studying and having my chart hours, backtesting time, and study session. Question number 8. What are your short-term and long-term trading goals? Short-term 6 months, and long-term maybe a year, 5 years, 10 years. How do you trade? Rules regarding setups, list of platforms, and entry. setup, what trade characteristics, when and if are you going to look at a high time frame. Okay, are you a scalper on the 1 minute? Will you have any look at what happens on the hourly chart to understand something, or no? Or you will only stick to what's in front of your eyes and trade based on that? Doesn't really matter. If you have an edge, that's what you're going to do. How often will you journal and review the trades taken? What are the rules for calling it a day? It's very important. This is more of account management, risk management. It's what are you doing? Okay, do I take three stop losses, or do I take only one trade per day? Whatever it is, that's up to you about your risk percentage, your risk rules. How do you feel? Also, it's very important if you depending on how risk averse you are. Will you increase lot size the more the account grows, or based on personal feeling? When will this present trading plan might be revised? And for example, it's very important to give it a period of time. So for example, 6 months, when you stick to these trade rules, trade characteristics, this time has to be a little bit is very important, because you need consistency. You need time to let the your trading plan to practice it, to experience it, and to see if actually on the long term it is profitable or not. And it's very important to fit that and signature, because it's very, very important to do it as a business. This is a contract with yourself. Let me make it clear. This is the most important thing you need to know, because this is very important. This is absolutely relevant. And this is the only thing that you need to respect every single day is your trading plan. And here in the appendix, you have the setups, and it's very good, a good idea to have a visual representation of what the best trade would look like, what is the setup looking like, when that will be your entry entry confirmation. For example, for me, in this case, will be a break and retest below these lows. As you can see, break and retest and a continuation low. I'm not entering over there. Same here. This is another block. Where do I enter? I don't enter over there, because we're still in a very bullish price action, so I don't want to enter. For example, news report, understanding the liquidity grabs, and everything. So this is this was my trading plan, and all these questions are over here. So where are you trading, trading style, and I will give you that. I might give that to you without any issues. And now let's move to my actual trading plan that I just finished making, and let me put it in red so that you don't really, yeah, okay. Oh, that's big. This is a contract you are making yourself. I don't know if later on it will be a little bit in the way with the plan, but yeah, we will see. This is a contract, that's why it's very important. I could also make it on the side, but yeah, I'm too lazy. So for example, this is my name, gold. This is already the pair. I am a scalper. It's already making it clear what I am, what is my trading style. So that's the trading style. This is the pair, and this is the period already. You can see it. It's a little bit more visually appealing. This is my my period, that is the validity. So it's starting from the 1st of May and will go for 6 months. So it's May, June, July, September, October, and November. So up until the end of November, I will trade this way, whether I like it or not. Well, of course, I did it now because I like it. So this is the before. This is based on Trade Mindfully, the book, which divides in before, during, and after. So it's what is happening before the trading session, what is happening during the trading session, and what is happening after the trading session. For example, here, what is of course gold, When do I trade? I trade Monday to Friday, and this time it's half an hour before New York, and it's half an hour before the 10 a.m. candle. So this is like 8:30 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Eastern. That's when I trade. That's the only time that I actually take trades. We're not talking about, I don't know why. We're not talking about studying or anything else. So now that we are here, this is okay. Perfect. Okay. So as I said, this is when this is high quality preparation. Remember that we are in the before. So by being in the before, okay, yeah. We have the high quality preparation. So for example, 30 minutes, this is my routine, this is my schedule. So 30 minutes before the session, I do a meditation, I check the reports, what time they are. I usually do it also at the start of the week to see a little bit what it is expected for the week. And then I will do my uncomfortable questions, review my values, and then read my monthly mission. This is mostly psychology. It's not, as you can see, that it's not really about price sensitivity areas. It's not about anything technical, I would say. Then at the session open, usually it's at after I do the uncomfortable question, but after New York open, but before 8 a.m., 8:20 a.m. Eastern, I see, okay, what is the market telling me right now? And okay, what is the price? How is it going? What are the most recent and relevant price sensitivity areas? Okay, let's see. What do I want to see from the market to take a trade? Do I want to see it continuation bearish? Do I want to see it bullish? Do I want to see something waiting until news? What? This is very important, and it's my preparation for the scalping day. As you can see, mostly if you're intraday, you should do the high quality preparation the night before. Since I'm a scalper, I'm only doing 30 minutes before, checking all my PSAs and checking what is happening already in the charts. Here I have a quick reminder, and you don't need to know what is going to happen next in order to make money. That's Mark Douglas, and I only need to enter a good setup. If it's a good setup, if it wins or loses, it doesn't really matter. I simply have to enter the proper setup, and that's it. Now, so now we are in the phase of execution. Before it was preparation, now we are about execution. Here, I have highlighted my trading edge, what I believe is an edge, my edge on the market. So in this case, you can see my edge as a scalper is to understand price action, the momentum of the chart, the reaction at each price point, the possible anticipation of a trend continuation, of a trend reversal, understand and see the market structure, be conscious and self-aware of my session timing. So when are we? Are we at New York open? Are we coming into news? Are we coming into the new 4-hour candle? Are we coming into New York Stock Exchange? And of course, if there's a big news, what is the market expecting? How is the price reacting to this news? Everything. It's very, very important. For example, talking about price action, I will look at the size, frequency of the candles in order to understand objectively the candle formation and what does it mean as order flow wise. As I said, we'll see more about it later. I need to see, I will not enter a buy here just because we are closing at a PPL. No, I will see this is possibly, okay, it's probable that the price will continue bearish or whatever. Or maybe I wait for a single candle bullish, and then, okay, this, since it was at a very strong PSA, then I might enter the buys. But the size and frequency of the candles has to be in trend, and we're going to see later. Momentum. I will try to understand, and I will understand the momentum, how, if the presence or the lack of it in the chart. either for reversal or continuation of a trend. That's very, very important. So the momentum is if you're seeing there's a trend that is going, there's a big candles that are making like 5 pips a candle, or we are flat in a consolidation period. Reactions is very, very important to see at a specific price point of interest, understand what is the market telling me. Are we reacting? Are we not reacting? Are we showing strength? Are we showing weakness? And not okay, I wanted to sell at this level, so I will continue selling. No, maybe the market is telling me that the buyers are in control. I need to take buys. That's it. I took too many trades, weak trades and poor trades, only based on my opinions. Market structure, for example, here I will look and understand the previous market structure, higher highs, higher lows. Are we making an order block? Are we breaking below the order block lows, highs, whatever? I'm retesting the previous highs and a key level, everything. To validate and validate trade opportunities. Session timing, I will be aware and mindful about the high volatility times to take advantage of retests, pullback moves, and continuation even. We know that sometimes they do a pullback before doing the continuation. That's actually most of the times. So over here, fundamental sentiment, I will be aware of the high time frame fundamental sentiment. So is, for example, gold has been bullish over the last weeks. I will not simply, I will stay in a bullish buy zone because I'm a scalper. So I will take advantage also of pullbacks of sells, but I will be ready to add that to headlines and reports, understanding the implication as per current fundamental sentiment. So what does it mean a CPI report today if the Fed already said that it will increase 25 base points the interest rate? So maybe it will not change, and maybe labor market, job market report will affect it. So I will have to be very conscious and self-aware and understand it. Anticipation, that's more technical. I will only try to visualize what the price should do to take a trade, dissect with the proper price action needed for an entry. So if I want to see a break and retest, I will try to visualize, I need above this level, I will need these candles going, and then a slow pullback, seeing weakness in the sellers with leaving big wicks, and then I will take an entry. Compared to avoid taking a trade when this is the breakout, and then I enter over here. No, this is not a clean and strong breakout. It's not showing momentum as it is right here. So that's a very, what do I want to see from the market before entering the trade? And that's very, very important. And I will try to anticipate the next price action based on the task of my pre-plan analysis. I will take a very aggressive entry because I will always enter here. I will not wait for a candle to confirm the bullish. I will enter exactly over there. So that's very aggressive because we are taking these are all bullish. I'm entering at a very strong bearish candles. So that's why it's quite aggressive to be as close as possible to the PPL or key level. The risk is overall the same, so it doesn't really matter. I will wait for my levels to be reached to enter trades, not trying to be greedy and rushing trades, trying to outguess my system. That again is very, very important, and it's very relevant. So let me delete these, and let's move on to the very next page, because this one was a sort of, what is my hedge? Why should I believe in what I'm trading? And then we'll go to a characteristic of a trade setup. This is very important and is outlining the ideal setup. So over here, let's continue. These are the following characteristics. It has to be in trend on the lower time frame. The price action should be already showing momentum above or below my area of interest. The setups are clear break and retest or strong rejection at the end of pullback. The candle confirmation will be the first opposite candle closing at or close to my PSA of interest. In trend is defined as market structure printing new higher highs and higher lows, and it's also defined with more and bigger in-trend candles. I'm not taking a buy after 5-6 consecutive bearish candles. Fixed stop loss of 15 pips, fixed target of 40 pips, 45. It's a 3-to-1 risk to reward. Anyway, that's because I saw from my backtesting that my trade entries have a higher chance to go further than 30 pips and go to 45 pips at least, which means that I could have a 25% win rate and still be profitable compared to a 40% win rate with a 2-to-1. This is now breaking the setup. So the trigger will be one or more candles break a level and more candles and one or more candles retest the same level. The entry trigger will be when a single opposite candle closing at my PSA. Now price is clearly trending in one direction, so more candles now. The difference is that this can be faster. This is more of a slower pullback and turning in one direction, and we take the higher time frame end of pullback at the relevant retracement levels, especially if it's matching with recent market structure. And I will show you all of this in the appendix in a few minutes. And as you can see, that's where I have an example to see. Of course, by doing the setup review on a daily basis, these are quite getting into my muscle memory, and I don't need to see them in the trading plan. I don't trade manage. It either goes to stop loss or to break or to TP. There is no break even, there is no partial, there is nothing. Stop loss or break even or TP. If and when will I look at a higher time frame, I will look at this higher time frame to understand the current trend on exactly on the higher time frame. So 15 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hour. And then I will identify recent market structure and price sensitivity areas. I will mark up where price is most likely to react, especially taking into consideration the hierarchy of time frames, because of course a 1 hour PSA is more relevant, can be stronger than a 1 minute PSA. So that has to be taken into consideration. Even if you are a scalper, that's something that you should know about it. So then what do? After is the journaling. So this is the after. We saw the before, the during, the after. Journaling. How often will I journal and review my trades, the trade that I took? I will journal my trades immediately after entering them, setting the reasons or the entry, the setup, and the final result. I will journal also my final thoughts and emotions through this session. At the end of the day or at the end of the trade, I will journal the trade taken in a spreadsheet, the one that you always see, setting the main bias, the type of setup between the two, the entry confirmation, the level, what was the bias, it was in trend or counter trend with no loss, how far it will go, and then also some notes on, okay, entry at this level because I saw this price action and everything. Extensively, I will review during the weekend in the weekly recap, as I always do. Constructive self-assessment. Constructive self-assessment is a process-based recording of my trades, of my missed opportunities, and why did I miss them. And that's something that I do on my journal. And then I have a spreadsheet specifically for these questions, which are the uncomfortable questions of the pre-session, and these are the post questions, which is strong points, limitation, what have I learned, and what step can I take based on what I learned. This is very, very useful, has been very, very useful during the last few months when I started trading. And yeah, that's very important to be honest with yourself. Then we have account management, and we're going to okay, when will I increase lot size based on something? Yeah, it will lot size because my risk is capped to 1% a trade. So of course, if the account grows or declines, my lot size will adapt. What are my rules for calling it a day? As you can see, I'm coming back with of the questions of before. A 2% loss is the maximum that I'm allowing myself. I don't want to take more than 2 trades. If there are 2 losses, that's it for the day, because otherwise I will not be able to recover in a few days, in one day, the next day. This percentage will remain for at least 6 months. What are my goals? Short term, during this month, 6 months, is to become consistently profitable, at least 5%, month over month. Medium term, which means for the next year, is to become consistently profitable at least 10% a month, so that I can be confident in either depositing a bigger capital or get a funded account, which requires at least 10% a month to scale up my income. Long term, as a trader, is to become financially free and use trading income to support my family and my future business. So that's my main goal as a trader is this. So for now, I'm not thinking about becoming a financial analyst or whatever, because I love the freedom, and that's what it makes me feel good. But still, I want to build other businesses. Now, appendix number 1. This is something that it was already here. So this is mostly to remind myself, why should I enter such high risk anticipating entry? This is based on capital angry webinars. Whether I wait for 3-4 rejection candles and then enter, or a confirmation, or whether I enter on a single rejection, the risk is the same. That's very important to understand. Does it work? Does it mean that it will work out every time? No, but sometimes also a double bottom, also a perfect rejection will still fail. So anticipation is not anticipating and expecting what the market might do next. The point is, you are entering where you pre-planned, anticipated, and not just entering randomly and wildly. So it has to be a relevant PSA, has to be a clean breakout, has to be a clean rejection, has to be something that it really matters. For example, if I see bearish candles approaching the pre-planned buy area and start to see smaller candles, exhaustions, then I see a bullish bounce and smaller bearish candles approaching again the PSA, like here, I will take an entry at the first candle closing above the PSA. This is driven itself talking. Sometimes even if a few seconds are left in the candles anticipating a double bottom. And I'm going to talk about this also a few seconds left, and I'm going to talk about with my last trade that I took on Friday, trusting the pre-plan analysis and the refined price point of interest, trusting the main bias and so forth. Trust me, there's a reason why I execute so close to the key levels. They won't always give you exact reaction, but through backtesting, majority of times you get a stronger lower time frame reactions at the higher time frame price point of interest. That is very, very, very good. It's gold. These phrases are gold. That's what was really highlighting for me. It was very game changer, life changer. As you can see, because if you enter at a candle over here and it loses, maybe okay, you enter over there, you get stopped out because the price goes below. You enter over here, the price goes down, and you get stopped out. So it doesn't really matter. Your price point is what makes the difference. Is the quality of this area is what makes the difference. It's not whether you enter over there or not, or whether you have confirmation or not. Because having a single candle does not mean that you will then continue bullish every time. That is not a rule. Price can go maybe even a little bit higher, 5-10 pips, and then react to a PPL, and then the continuation bearish. So unless you have like a 10 pips TP, it doesn't really matter. Even if you have a 10 pips TP, get here, because you are most likely to have a strong reaction at this area if it is a relevant area, and 10 pips might be up to there. So even if you get rejected at this very next candle, maybe you get your actual take profit. So it doesn't make sense if you think about it. You lose, you lose. Okay, you lose either way. It doesn't really change anything. But for example, if you win in a winning trade, maybe you enter over there, you enter so late that you have a further retest of the area, and then you get stopped out. But then you see more confirmation. Unless you are able to re-enter, then you see you have multiple confirmation, then the price goes up. but you are getting stopped out because your entry is so far away. It's already 5 pips away from the PPL, from the PSA, compared to maybe the same price action, but you enter below there. You're giving yourself 5 more pips of stop loss size. So that's why you don't need maybe 20 pips stop loss, you only need 15, because the average move will not take you out, and then you're still there when the price moves to your TP. And that's very important. Trade setups, for example, breaks and retests. You can see here, you can see the rules that we were highlighting as per trade characteristics that are here. So we are in a bullish trend because we are coming from making new higher highs and higher lows, making a new higher high, a new higher low. There's momentum in the chart, yes. Yes, we are seeing 3 candles very strong and bearish, but I mean, we are talking about very recent price action, and it's just a break and retest of these previous highs. It's not like we are seeing strong rejection, price unable to make a new higher high, and making then further correction. That's when I don't want to enter, if I'm seeing multiple rejection and then stronger and more bearish candles. For example, here it's difficult to enter buys because you are seeing rejections and you're not seeing a strong bullish momentum. But you're seeing over here, you're seeing over here, you can enter at this level in anticipation of this move. And that was exactly my entry over here. Then this is a clean, picture perfect break and retest. You can see price is bullish, you have a clean momentum, and that's a clean entry at the candle closing at the PPL and the previous PSA. This is the end of pullback. Let me zoom in a little bit, and you can see now that you are seeing strong momentum. This is also a bullish case because of fundamental reasons. We are retesting these previous lows, not exactly on the dot, but we are probably 75% of the retracement of this overall bullish move. And you also have, you see, candle closing over here, and candle closing over here, also another one showing you weakness, and then a possible trend continuation. So this is more of a end of pullback because you see that it takes more time, way more time, and also the volume is different. You see that the bullish volume is strong, fast, very aggressive. You can also come back from down here. Compare it to bullish in trend momentum compared to, look, these bearish. Look at the volume over here, so small. There is no really strong volume in the seller side. That means that it's probably a pullback before a continuation in trend. So if the rejection would have been like this, then okay, we might be either be aggressively bouncing from here, or it's most likely that we break, retest, and then continuation bearish. But yes, so this is my trading plan. You can see I showed you on the dot, and yeah, very important thing. I highly suggest you to okay, put for example here date signature, because remember that this is a contract you are making with yourself. I hope you guys enjoyed this different video, and I'll see you next time.